Sophie Cunningham goes in the post-game press conference and confirms what we've all known all along. This locker room is split, and she uses the term different islands going on in this locker room. It turns out that Christy Sides and all those toilet paper mummy activities, all those scavenger hunt activities, the wiffle ball coming back from the Olympic break, it turned out that those stupid games actually played a big part, along with Erica Wheeler's veteran leadership, keeping this locker room, keeping this team together.
Did Sophie Cunningham just drop some serious insight on the Fever's behind-the-scenes drama? Word is, the locker room's feeling more divided than ever, and the front office seems to be avoiding responsibility. There's tension, there's fakery, and it's all starting to feel less like a basketball team and more like a reality show unfolding in real time. Sophie may have sparked the conversation, but now it's catching fire. Let's break it all down before the next headline hits.
What is going on with the Indiana Fever? Is tensions mounting? Did Sophie Cunningham just expose the truth that's going on with the Indiana Fever? Is there some turmoil brewing? Is there issues in the locker room?
And here we are, Caitlin Clark, the living embodiment of everything the WNBA says it wants to promote: talent, marketability, and poise. Yet somehow, she's navigating a league that can't seem to protect its own rising star. Despite what looks and feels like an unofficial hazing campaign, she keeps showing up, keeps scoring, and does it all with grace. She's got the humility of a saint, the drive of a machine, and the kind of composure that only comes from top-tier media training.
And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. Everyone, no one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but as one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people, right?
And somehow, she's being treated like she's the problem. The math simply isn't mathing. Fans didn't just stumble into this obsession. It's not luck or a fluke. It's because Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, paired with a grounded, no-drama presence. She's not out here demanding a spotlight. She's quietly saying, "Hi, I'm here to raise the standard," while still smiling and signing autographs on the way out.
Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room. Everybody's on their own little island. We're going to get back to that real quick. Listen to what Stephanie White said in the offseason. One of her thousands of interviews that I called out. Stop doing interviews. I want some wins. One of her 1,000 million interviews during her press run in the offseason.
People are drawn to Caitlin Clark because she radiates something rare normalcy and genuine charm. It's that grounded, Midwest warmth, like it was hand-delivered by her upbringing and baked right into a casserole. She's not just incredibly skilled, she's good in the moral sense. And in today's sports world, that kind of character feels almost mythical.
The interesting comments from Sophie Cunningham. And yes, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit, but I also think it is a pretty clear admission, just without detail, of what has been going on with the Indiana Fever this season. And it is not good at all. It makes it really, really difficult for teams to put together winning performances when you have all of this going on. And no, I'm not even talking about the distraction of Caitlin Clark and her injury and other things, although that plays a part as well. But she also does make a comment that I think is important in terms of who the Indiana Fever are as a team and how that makes things more difficult as well. So I want to take a...
Let's talk about what's really happening behind the scenes, because inside the Fever locker room, peace is about as rare as a technical foul called on Caitlin Clark's defenders. The front office seems more focused on appearances than solutions. Like they're rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic while their franchise centerpiece gets elbowed, hacked, and quietly iced out by her own team. Forget chemistry there. Building resentment like it's an episode of Flip. This roster. This isn't a personality clash, it's a full-blown internal conflict. Half the squad looks like they'd rather ride the bench than make a clean pass to Clark, while the rest are too caught up in a game of Survivor to contribute meaningfully. Let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't player development, it's dysfunction. It's like giving Einstein a crayon and sticking him in a kindergarten classroom. Caitlin's elite court vision is being squandered on teammates who would rather force bad shots than acknowledge the star standing wide open. And the strategy, apparently, it's ignore your generational talent, take low percentage shots, and let Clark smooth it all over in the press conference.
I'm not sure Sophie meant for it to come out like that. But But it's something I have suspected for a while, maybe about 4 weeks now. It's something that Jason Whitlock jumped face first, head first into the deep end the other day on, that the locker room with the Fever, and just to keep it real, I agree with him on this. I think there are some preferences in the locker room where these young ladies differ in how they handle or how their preferences in their personal lives, and the locker room is divided.
She doesn't need to flip chairs or drop cryptic tweets. What Caitlin Clark might need is a Magic Johnson moment. Not the Charman smile magic, but the it's me or the coach magic. Because at this point, subtlety has exited stage left, and silence isn't solving anything. The league is profiting off her image, the front office is cashing in on the hype, and meanwhile, she's expected to smile through being iced out by teammates acting like she cut them in line at the buffet. Let's be honest, every star eventually faces a choice. Carry the weight of a broken system, or break it to rebuild it. What's wild is how much restraint Caitlin shows. Most in her position would have already dropped veiled Instagram stories, filed a formal complaint, or hit us with a not mad, just disappointed podcast episode. But Caitlin, she keeps showing up, head down, taking hits like a boxer in the wrong sport. Still gracious, still composed, and somehow still leading. She deserves more than applause. She deserves a trophy just for enduring this circus with.
Watching that Sophie Cunningham thing on repeat, man. That clip where she grabbed the girl and threw her down, so foul. It's a hard basketball foul, probably over the top. Of course it is, but why would it not be given the circumstances? But once she did the clinch, man, MMA fans, UFC, grappling, Muay Thai, like we all know. Once you see that clinch, it was like, okay, she just ain't no regular fucking person. She knows something. She got some skills, and I guess she has like a black belt in Taekwondo or some shit like that, which is wild. And apparently she was the kicker on a high school football team.
Let's not forget the fans, the ones shelling out for overpriced tickets, rocking her jersey, dragging their skeptical boyfriends to games, and turning the Clark effect into a full-on economic boom. They're not just showing up for basketball. They're showing up because Caitlin Clark embodies something rare: excellence, paired with kindness, fame wrapped in humility, stardom without the ego. She reminds people why they fell in love with sports in the first place, when it felt real, inspiring, and bigger than just drama and marketing. And yet here she is, stuck in a system too timid to protect the very player breathing life into it. Spare us the she's just a rookie excuse. At some point you stop pretending she's just another draft pick and start recognizing she's the league's golden goose. And right now, that goose is getting roasted. She doesn't need empty encouragement. She needs real intentional, strategic, a coaching system that plays to her strengths, not around them. Teammates who are hungry to win, not busy sabotaging. A front office that realizes managing a team isn't just about cap space, it's about culture.
What's interesting is everybody hates them for multiple reasons, but the one I want to talk about when she said about circled on the schedule that I think is important, because it's easy to look from the outside and be like, well, that shouldn't matter. And it shouldn't matter, but it does. And what I mean is, we're all human, and not everybody's athletes don't. They should. They get paid to. It's a job. It's a blessing.
Accountability. Now, I can't say that last play with the 5-point swing. I think more so of she shouldn't have been in front of Stevens, man. She is too big. She is too big. Yeah, I get it, box out, but it was better to have Boston in her spot. Now, I did hear Stephanie White take accountability on that one. She was like, yeah, it's probably on me. I should have switched them too, made sure we had the big right there, but, you know, it just slipped her. But, yeah, I think in that instance, it should have been Boston right there. It's big on her to take the accountability, but, yeah, Boston should have been there. She could take fault in it too, because it's also like you have to recognize what's going on, right?
So after last night, another collapse by the Indiana Fever and giving up a fourth quarter lead to lose the game, Sophie Cunningham had pretty interesting words in the post game, after the post game interview, and what she said pretty much spot on for what everybody has been thinking, or some of us have been thinking, is that there is some kind of issue in the locker room. And she put it plain and simple as we could get it. And maybe this could lead to what DeWanna Barner left. Now, there could be some issues. There could be some players, and we already know that there's a gender out against the.
But I just think that it's impossible to think that's not a real possibility here. You know, and it should be noted, Stephanie White. All right, Stephanie White checks some boxes. And then you've got Sophie, and you got Caitlin, and you got Aaliyah, and you got Lexi. To my knowledge, probably Demarius Dantis, but I don't know. Michaela Timpson, I don't know. That don't check some boxes.